What is happening? This is Rue's Reviews, where we keep it for real, for real. I am Rue, aka the Culture Black Kid.
I'm Ifoma, aka Iffy.
And today we are talking about the third studio album from Portland-born rapper Aminé called 13 Months of Sunshine. As I mentioned, third studio album. Last proper album was Limbo, all the way back in 2020. But the last,
Wasn't it 2.5?
last album. That was a mixtape.
Damn. Okay. My mistake. Continue.
Yes. The last project he dropped, however, was a collab with the amazing dance producer Keitra Nada called Keitra Mine. And the last full-length solo project was 2.5, dropped in 2022.
Don't quote me. I don't know.
One of those years. Anyway, before the Keitra Mine project. So let us get into our overall thoughts now that we've done that.
Okay. Upon hearing that this album was going to be called 13 Months of Sunshine and seeing all the merch and seeing all the promo, I thought this was going to be an album that Aminé would heavily relate back to his identity and to Ethiopia. Boy, was I wrong. I was so wrong.
Yep.
This is an album that is also, to me, so different to Aminé's other stuff. Even his last solo project, 2.5, that had much more of an 808 feel, leaned more towards heavier hip hop,
Very
boosted
glitchy.
bass. Yeah.
Yeah.
But this one, dance. This is dancier. I actually still had a really enjoyable listen, and each song felt like a surprise in such a good way, just because like I really came into this blind. I thought I knew what I was going to hear. I was wrong. It was like a genuine surprise kind of listening. So yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I think this is a cool project. Few fun moments here. Very personal moments there.
Yeah.
Probably his most personal moments that I've ever heard on an Aminé project.
Yeah.
Solid production, but I think that it's missing a thing that Aminé brings to his projects that makes it, that has that pop. It gives
I
it
get
that taste.
I get it.
That again, a lot of other Aminé projects. It could be in the production. It could have been in the songwriting. Could be in the songwriting. And I feel the way I felt about the Keitra Mine album the first time project I heard it the first time, which was, this is cool, but this isn't crazy. I grew on the Keitra Mine project, but I'm worried that I might not grow on this one as much as that one. Because like I said, it's missing that thing. I think that an Aminé album has.
Okay, before we even continue to the pros,
Yeah.
I know what you're saying. I think where it's missing. Wow, sorry, I don't care if we're skipping stuff. I think where it's missing is the production and not his lyrics. I think the lyrics are still very Aminé. I think it's the production.
Yes, but it's not as strong as how as Aminé has done it in the past. I feel like some of the quirkier moments aren't as funny. They aren't as like, oh, that was hilarious. The whole freaking, what track was it? The third track. The After I Nut, it's like a truck hit me. It's like like, yeah, that's okay, that's cool.
No, okay,
but
yeah.
like,
no, one thing I did once again, sorry, no, we'll get to the stuff soon, but like one thing I did notice is that like, this was different in a way of like, was he going through like a second puberty? Like he just seemed he shed a lot. He shed a lot.
He did, for sure, and I appreciate that. Anyway, let's get into some pros because we'll definitely touch on that in a sec.
Okay. My first pro is, and two, I need to give just, I guess, a warning. I do have a lot of standouts, sorry. But my first pro is I really just like how easygoing this is. I think the danceability is at an all-high 10, and I appreciate that. As I said, very, very different to his last projects, to pretty much all of Aminé's stuff. But I think maybe coming off of the back of Keitra Mine and working with Keitra Nada, he wants to take that new approach. But I'm not mad at it. I actually really enjoyed this. I like that you still get those cheeky bars that he's kind of known for, but on just a very different beat. I think it's just fun, and I like where he took the project. My second pro, I like how there is one central theme and it sticks it out all the way through. And it's an album that's consistent with, this story of, romance, love, sex,
Okay.
and it doesn't stray away from that. I read every single lyric for every single song. I really took my time with this album. I
Mm-hmm.
read every single lyric and he stayed on topic the whole way through. I think it may have been a bit too much, but he stayed on topic.
Mm-hmm.
And this album does honestly feel like 13 Months of Summer, and it's a project that I do see myself listening to in every season, but I know in summer it's gonna bang. I just like that this isn't a seasonal project for me as well. As I said, I have a lot of standouts.
Mm-hmm.
Please, I'll try and keep it as short as possible.
That's all right.
Song two feels so good. I love the beat and I love the hook.
Okay.
It is an upbeat song, and I that he kind of took addiction and being addicted to stuff, but made it really playful.
Mm-hmm.
Once again on the hook, I love the beat switch up, and I think it just added an extra touch of personality. Song four, I think it's you. This is my favorite. Okay, one of my favorite songs. I love the sentiment this one holds, the regret in the lyrics, the simpleness, the production. It is beautiful, and the back half of this song is one of the best things I have ever heard in my life. Oh my god, I love every single element. And the live instrumentation is really gorgeous. Song five, I promise I will be quick. Cool About It featuring, I think it's
Lido?
Lido,
I
Lee.
think Lido.
I'm gonna say Lido. Lido. I think it's super fun. Fun sentiment, having a crush, great dance track. Song 10, Temptations. This one, the thing that stood out to me was the beat. I love that little synth all the way through. And it was a song I just kept finding myself boogieing to. Okay, three more songs. Song 13, 13 Months of Summer. I love this one. I love how this was the one song that I thought the whole album would be. The
Yeah.
lyrics were hard hitting. It was impactful, and I love the direction he took this one in. This was the one where you really saw a lot of that cultural, those cultural
Yeah.
elements. Um, and you know what? I'll shut up for now. I will actually shut my mouth.
No. Do you have more?
I have two
Keep
more.
going. Keep
Okay,
going.
fine, fine,
Keep
fine.
cooking.
Changer featuring Chloe the God. That was song 14. Super fun, really bouncy. Chorus is catchy, and Chloe the God is perfect for this song. And her part is so short, but her voice is so unforgettable. I think she outshines Amina. I'm so sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Final one, song 15, Arc to Triumph. All I said was, I just love. I think his bars got me with this one.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
Thank you.
Nice. 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 I want to kick it off, my pros off with the sentimental parts of it being. Let's start with the opener. New Flower with Leon Thomas. Um, I feel like I haven't heard a verse or verses like that from Aminé where he's being that like vulnerable about like his past, like pre-music. How he's struggling, and it's cool. It's really really cool to hear him pre Good For You, his debut album. Um, I do think there are other tracks, like I said, that are emotion like super personal. I think it's talking about overthinking, regret. Um, Also a lot more similar themes on be easy on yourself, or easier on yourself, reflection, more regret, and then doing the best I can on like some self reassurance. Like, yeah, all very very real and like relatable topics, but the most important thing is have not heard from Amine. Very much appreciate that. I love
Yeah.
that so much. Um, Feel so good. I think would have slotted perfectly on 2.5, which side note is my personal favorite Amine project, just because
Okay.
of the way it came out and just how random it was and just how
Yeah.
fun so many of the tracks were. So feel so good. If you slotted that, also I think it might be my favorite song on the project. Actually, yeah, probably one of my favorites on the project. Literally here. And then finally, Arc de Triomphe. Another fun track. I don't think it's crazy. I know people really, really love
Yeah.
that track. But I think some of his bigger hits, I would lean to more. But it's fun.
Yeah.
The hook is catchy and nice and fun. But let's get into some of the cons.
I only have one con, and I think it's that I was under the impression that this album was gonna go in a very different direction.
Mm-hmm.
The lead up to it and the promo, I was like going into it expecting some really cool sampling from like Ethiopian music
Mm-hmm.
or like old, like just like cool Ethiopian music, a lot
Yeah.
of cultural references, which we got in one song, which was the title track.
For
Um,
half a song.
yeah, but it
For the
wasn't
first half of the song.
first half of that. That was it.
Yeah.
That was
And
literally
then
it.
maybe you can count like his skits where he's talking to his dad,
Yeah, but I don't count
but that's
that.
not really like,
Yeah, I don't count it
yeah,
because no, I'm sorry. Love you, Mine.
yeah.
But yeah, I just expected this to be one huge love letter to Ethiopia and his family and his
Mm-hmm.
culture, but
Yeah.
I was so mistaken. I still really love the album, but like I really was excited to dive deeper into this unseen world of Amine
For sure.
and like all his unspoken things. He spoke about things that
Mm,
we don't know about,
for sure. Which we appreciate.
which we
Again,
appreciate.
like the general emotion. But sorry, I'm tagging
No,
onto this
yeah,
one
go
because I
on.
agree.
I can this you can actually keep going after
No, for
this.
sure. Like if he centered this around the whole 13 months of sunshine, the that whole thing centered like the
Yeah.
Ethiopianness and his background, I
Yeah.
feel like it would have made such a super even more personal on a sonic
100%.
standpoint as well. I
Yeah.
feel like the production was like cool. It feels like you got some additional beats from K Tronada or dance production that you made yourself from the K Tromine project and ran with it. And that's
Yeah.
cool, but like
I
if you're gonna do
just
dance, maybe you could lean into the Ethiopian
yeah,
dance
I'm just
stuff,
okay,
and
no.
then maybe blend it with the Catronada
Yeah,
stuff.
okay,
And
no. To take it
like,
right back one more time, that's why I'm so annoyed because like I feel lied to. I literally
yeah,
feel lied to. And like with the sonics of this album, even the theme for me, the central theme is not Ethiopia babes. It's
mm-mm,
not. It's something completely different.
yeah,
I think he wasted even just the album
the
name.
title, yeah,
He
the whole
wasted.
aesthetic,
He
yeah,
wasted it. To
agreed,
me, I'm sorry.
agreed.
It's a waste. It's a waste. This could have gone in a different direction. If you marketed this and promoted this better, I would not be complaining.
Hmm.
But that's it. Now I'm done.
No, for sure, for sure. It's completely left field, but it will make more sense. There was a moment where Fantano was critiquing Logic for using the song title Keanu Reeves for a song.
Mm,
And he was like, what's the point of naming it Keanu Reeves if you're not going to even mention, name drop anything about Keanu Reeves
yeah.
in the thing? Now, granted, Aminé did reference Ethiopia throughout. I'm not saying that was a very extreme example. However, like we just mentioned, majority of the thing didn't feel like it was
No.
related to that. And
No.
yeah, I got to agree. I do think it was a waste of a title. I feel like if it was a lot more centered around the more traditional production and aesthetic of Ethiopia,
Yeah.
I would have ate that up.
Right.
It would have been so beautiful.
Can you imagine like old school Amine with some insane set like the sampling of like
Hmm.
really cool Ethiopians.
It would have been crazy. It would have been ridiculous. The samples, the drums, like even getting some traditional Ethiopian singers
Yes.
or like getting like pulling people
Yeah,
from the
like
homeland.
this would have been a generational if he took it the
Yeah,
direction I
it would have been
thought
one of the best albums of the year.
of the
1000%
year.
if you went
Like,
that way.
oh my god.
So yeah, that makes me
No, now I'm
very
pissed off
disappointed.
now.
Yeah, no, for sure. So in that same
Oh.
breath, let's channel that into our overall thoughts.
Mhm.
So are we feeling? Are we here for this? Are we feeling iffy about it? Just depends on the day. Iffy.
Listen, even though I'm actually like genuinely heated right now, I am here for this,
Okay.
okay?
Yeah.
I think 13 Months of Sunshine is an album that is just quintessentially summer. For what it is about,
Hmm.
he did the job.
Yeah.
I do like the lane he's moved into with the project. I think a lot of the songs, there are hits, there are a few misses as well. And I still, once again, I feel misled. I'm very misled with this direction that he went in, but it doesn't take away from, how much I enjoyed it. I can't lie. Like, I was dancing. I saved like half of this album. And it is a genre and a sound that I really do enjoy. And I'm going to continue to listen. I just wonder if he's going to stick with this sound or if, the next thing he does I just now I'm like
Yeah.
I
What's
don't
next?
now I'm really like confused
Hmm.
on the approach he's kind of taking with his sound. But yeah, moral of the story, I'm here for it.
Yeah. Okay. And for me, I think it depends on the day. I am a big Aminé fan. but unfortunately, this just isn't what I wanted from an Aminé project. Not saying that, he should have done something he's done in the past, but I feel like if he was going to switch it up, it could have been something different, like what we mentioned. And within him kind of like going in between, it didn't feel like he hit it as strong as when he did it earlier. Still, in saying that, I do agree that the aesthetic, very summery vibes. It's fun. There's definitely, I love the sentimentality of some of the tracks. Definitely keen to hear more about Aminé's story and his personal life and stuff like that. But yeah, unfortunately, this probably will land at the bottom of my Aminé project pile at this current moment.
Damn.
So
Wow,
yeah,
wow.
but let us know what you think. Are you here for this? Depends on the day. Feeling iffy about it? Let us know. Aminé, 13 Months of Sunshine, here on Rouge Reviews, where I am Root, aka the Culture Black Kid,
I'm Informer, aka Iffy.
and we'll catch you next time. Peace.